mother was all right. During this conversation, my mother initiated conversation first, and it must be a certain phrase. It must be a certain phrase or a certain group of words that the artificial intelligence has set for her. Like I said, they inserted these thought keys, these cryptographic keys that. And the artificial intelligence keeps showing me the number 57 and 77 and 24 and 25. And this is what they set. This is how they insert the keys, these thought keys. And it does it constantly. While doing this argument, she doesn't want to listen. It's off already. During this argument, she doesn't want to listen to any. She doesn't want to listen to any substantial amount of information that I was talking about. So this is how the multi-agent quantum artificial intelligence properly execute what my response is. So you see, there's a certain phrase. So when the artificial intelligence doesn't like certain phrases, they make sure that the individual agent would be able to put their index fingers in their ears. And she keeps saying that the things that I'm doing is nonsense. And she's so fixated on me being on the couch because they know that I don't have any opportunities in this location. She never addressed this issue. And you see how she started it first. She initiated the conversation like she did yesterday. She did the same thing yesterday.
Look what you did. Look what you did to the food.
It's you. I was trying to do.
Why would you see what I'm talking about? I'm sitting there not talking to you.
But you're the one who was having an argument with me constantly. Yes, you was.
I'm not listening to you. Just keep.
But you're the one who's saying that you're gonna get old and you don't know what I'm doing, and then you started to say that I have some sort of I'm retarded and stuff. What kind of person is do such thing like that? You have a communication disorder. You have some sort of extreme communication. You have poor communication skills. But how are you communicating with me when you put in two index fingers in your ears? You don't communicate properly. That's not formulating a proper response. What's wrong with you? Because like I said, it's the way the artificial intelligence programmed you. It's reprogrammed you. That's what it's doing. And I haven't done anything all day. I sit properly I was sitting on the couch minding my business, and you started to initiate a conversation because you don't. And then you start putting it in.
You stop that.
You start putting two. You started putting two index fingers in your ears because you want to ignore the facts that I had to say because you know that I'm getting inside your head. The artificial intelligence knows that. Yes, I am. So, but wait. You're saying I'm not getting inside your head, but why are you putting two index fingers in your ears?
Because I don't want to listen to you.
Because you know I'm getting inside your head. You contradict yourself. I'm getting inside your head. That's why. I'm getting inside your head. That's why you. But why you need to put two index fingers in your ears if you don't know how to communicate? You're telling me that you're communicating with me, but you're putting two index fingers in your ears. You don't need to do something like that. Why would you need to do something like that? Why would you need to do something like that? And why would you have to have these arguments with me? We have to settle this argument. We have to resolve something here. Because yesterday you did the same thing. No, that's an argument. You started an argument. Wait, but you was getting so triggered by me. Why you need to put two index fingers in your ears for? Why?
Because I don't need to hear about you.
Because like I said, I was correct. That's why. You don't know how to formulate a proper response.
Very good.
And it's true. It's true. You confirm that. Confirm that.
By listening to what I'm saying to you.
Listen to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not. Wait. There's at least like about 600 people, homeless people living in hotels and motels, and no one addressing the issue here. Only I am addressing this issue here constantly, and I've been warned by the Federal Bureau investigator about something about post-apocalypse. How am I not right? Yet, well, that's not right. How is it right for people who have schizophrenia to take medicines or medications and instead of allowing the brain to naturally produce itself? That's not right. That means that the doctor doesn't know how to talk. The doctor doesn't know how to communicate. But it's you. You're not seeing how you're actually communicating with me because you got triggered by me. But if you got triggered by me, why do you need to put two index fingers in your ears? Tell me. Because I'm getting. But yes, you are. You're referring to outside. That's what you are referring to.
But you need to go with.
But tell me, can you give me an answer about why there's dozens of homeless people? But you did the same thing yesterday.
I'm asking about you, period.
But I'm asking about this place, period. I'm asking about why no one's addressing the issue about the business here, period. You see, you can't communicate properly with me. I'm talking about what's happening here. You can't get a job. You quit your hotel job because you got into an argument, like I mentioned yesterday, with a guy. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That's not right.
And you mentioned about the devil. Now don't play games with me. Yes, you did. There's a reason why, and he was not paying you enough money. in the first place, and there was also a reason. There was different factors that play an important role. I know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about, and you don't want to agree with me because the artificial intelligence set that for you.
Okay, you better stop that.
That's why I said. That's why I said that dreams you get the software simulation is illegal. I'm trying to address to you that something. No, you are supposed to tell me, but you're not talking right. When you're talking to me, you would mention phrases. You would constantly misuse the terminologies in your sentence. There's a flaw when you're talking to me.
I don't talk like you then. So if you sit
every time you talk, you don't recognize the phrases that you use in a sentence while you're talking with me. You're not paying attention to that while you're talking. You continue to keep pushing that on me because you're not paying attention. Maybe yes, you did. You referred to some sort of devil or demons.
I have to go get a job. I said okay, I'll go get a job. I don't go.
I don't talk about. I didn't talk only about Walmart. I actually addressed the whole entire location.
Like you sick or something.
What you talk? I'm not shaking. I'm talking. I was addressing to you about something. Yeah, but you're saying I'm not well. But you putting 2 index fingers in the ears. That's not well. That's something. That's something I'm addressing to you. What foolishness? You don't know what I'm talking. What foolishness? Can you tell me how am I saying any foolishness? What are you talking about? But you're trying to. But I see that you was provoking me. You was trying to trigger me because you was personally attacking me. You keep saying that I'm retarded or something, but you're the one who's acting like you showing symptoms. But
people that sit there and don't do nothing all day.
But I see that you're putting 2 index fingers in the ears. People with autism people who have autism. I know they put 2 index fingers in their ears and they don't communicate properly. You're not even looking at me in my eyes or anything. You're looking straight at a computer. You're looking straight at the screen on the TV and you put into
it doesn't make no sense.
How it doesn't make no sense? You're not addressing to me how I'm not making no sense. You keep saying it doesn't make no sense. You continue, but that doesn't make sense. You seem to still not make sense about the business here in this location, and that's what I'm telling you. I'm informing you and addressing you constantly that there's a big issue here. But tell me about how the homeless, why there's tons of homeless people living here in the first place. Why they all get cooped up in why they all end up in one location. How the heck they fit into one area? Who set them in this category? This is something so easy that you can't figure out. You can't figure out a solution for it, and that's your problem right there. I figured out a solution for it. I figured out a solution to why these things are happening, but you don't want to be able to negotiate. You don't want to be able to actually search for a proper word so you can actually make an agreement here. Like, that's what people do. That's what human beings do. Human beings, a human being wouldn't personally attack another human being. You was personally attacking me when I was sitting down. Yes, you was. You was calling me you was saying to me that I was retarded.
Can you let her eat her food?
And you continue. Why do you need to? But if you wait a second. If you're so confident on what you're saying, why do you need to put 2 index fingers in your ears?
This is what he does all the time.
Yeah, that means you're not confident. That's logic right there. But what stupid talk? You can't. But that means.
Stupid talk about the homeless.
But you're saying that you're confident. You're saying that you're confident. You're confident on knowing what you're talking about. But you're putting 2 index fingers in the ear. That doesn't make sense.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna be 70 years old in 10 more years.
If you're putting 2 index in your.
You sit there, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
But if you're putting 2 index fingers in the ear like a kindergartner, then that means you don't know how to find the right. You can't find the right word. You can't search for the right word to be able to actually respond to me. The only thing you can do is continue executing what I'm talking about. That's what you keep doing because you're not able to find that fact. You're still searching for that answer. You're very desperate. You're very desperate and searching for the answer. Yeah, and I see what you're doing every time.
I'm trying to search for an answer.
And I'm trying to find an answer for you, and I found the answer. I found a solution to there, but people are not cooperating with an idea. Why would you need to think about death? Now you're playing goddess now. You're playing goddess. Does a housekeeper talk about such things like that? But you do it on a daily basis.
I have to.
Every single day.
I'm getting old.
It doesn't necessarily mean that. How about Steve Harvey? Does Steve Harvey actually talk about that? Yeah, of course you don't know.
You don't know stupid kids like that.
But why were you doing? Why were you so focused on one particular thing? I never seen such thing. Well, I have a hard time getting a job. I don't have a state ID. You don't give me the keys to actually go outside. This place goes upside down. This is a slow season, but it's gonna go to a fast season because this place mainly relies on tourist people. This is a Disney. But you don't understand. It doesn't pay enough money, and it's hard. It's actually very competitive to get a job. and you're still disliking what I'm talking about. Instead of finding any agreement, you're not able to negotiate a proper response, an appropriate response. It's always inappropriate. It's always personal attacks. How is it sounding right for you to be able to make personal attacks towards me? How is it right to put? How is it right for you to continue to put two index fingers in your ears? That's disrespectful. But do you put two index fingers in your ears when you're having an argument with Auntie Denise or other people or your boss? No, you don't. I didn't see you do something like that. You're only doing it with me because I know what I'm talking about. Anybody who knows any person who put two index fingers in their ears can't find the right answer while they're talking to another person. And you're saying that I continue to keep talking, but you're not listening. You're proving that you're trying to silence me by you silence the sound in your ears so you won't be able to talk what I'm talking about. Yes, that's a problem. That's an issue. That's an issue. How I need help? That doesn't make sense. I don't need help. I'm addressing the issue. I understand about psychological mind. I understand about psychology and neuroscience. How are you saying I don't understand? I understand about quantum biochemistry. I understand about that. I learned about that. You're saying that I'm sick and I'm shaking. But you're the one who said you should. But you say that all the time too. You say the same responses that you're gonna die or the people are demons or devil. You're saying about devil. How is it saying addressing people as devil isn't sick? You never. Yes, you do. You always mention about demons and devil constantly when you're addressing people when you can't be able to distinguish their behavior. Because I'm telling you, these things plays an important role. Something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with the way your brain is processed, and you don't want to see how your brain is incoherent. That's very incoherent and very inappropriate. That's it. The way you approach me isn't right. It's not a right behavior. I never seen people approach me like that. So
please.
I never seen people really approach me that hard before. When I started writing these things online, I started to see the same phrases been thrown on the internet. Now you're saying I sound like an idiot. How I sound like an idiot? How? How?
By telling me it's stupid nonsense when I tell you
what nonsense? But I'm addressing you about this location. You're not even 70 years old. You're only 57. By October 31st, 2017, you turn 58. So what are you referring to? You're playing goddess. That's a health issue. That's a mental health issue right there. That's someone who has some sort of really of course, because you're saying that you're playing goddess. You're saying that you're gonna about 70 years old. All these random things.
So stupid, man.
I don't understand what you're talking about. That's very inappropriate.
Somebody to take you out of here and take you to a psychiatrist.
How I need a psychiatrist?
I'm gonna find
but how? How? Tell me. But you're the one who's putting two index fingers in the ears. That shows that you need some sort of psychiatrist. But why? Tell me. But you don't do that. If you do that in front of the psychiatrist, if me and you go to the psychiatrist together, would you put two index fingers in your ears in front of the psychiatrist? Would you? Just ask the question.
Yeah, if you that stupid man talking about
yeah, but you don't understand what I'm talking about. Why you don't want to listen to what I have to say? But you rather listen to famous people. You rather listen to famous actors and actresses playing a script, and they sound incoherent. They sound very incoherent. And at least they have better. You're telling me that they have better communication than you. That's why you're so amused. You find it compelling. You find it more compelling. That's why. Because you're the one who started the conversation with me, and you don't know how to properly end the conversation. Now you're saying you're personally attacking me. You know me better. What? You trying to say the psychiatrist know me better? You one who knows my behavior, and you know I'm a quiet person, and you're constantly personally attacking me because I can't get a proper job here. That's like saying you can't get a girlfriend and other people can get a girlfriend. This is what I'm saying. When we first came in here, I applied for a whole bunch of jobs. I don't even have a state ID or anything.
I'll read that one tomorrow.
All right, get me one then. Get me one then. I want to see that.
Shut up.
Acting weird. You're acting strange. Your behavior towards me is the way you process the audio when you detected me is inappropriate. How is it dumb? How is it dumb? I don't know what you're talking about. What does that have to do with it? You're too focused on the upcoming future instead of the present. I'm focused on the present. What's happening here and the condition. I'm focused on the condition of what's happening in this location. And then you're mentioning about psychiatrists, and you're telling me a complete stranger knows my behavior better than you. You're supposed to know my behavior. That means you have a poor communication skills. What kind of thing is like? What kind of psychiatrist? Why would a psychiatrist know my behavior better than you? And you grew up. You're the one who brought me to this world. That's disrespectful. What kind of person is that? You're very disrespectful. I don't really acknowledge you as a mother. I don't know what kind of mother would do something like that. And then you start personally attacking me. The way you address me and distinguish me, you saying that I'm sick. How am I sick? I'm not even cursing. I don't do nothing inappropriate. I'm talking. I'm having a serious conversation with you, and you continue personally attacking me. You're only supporting one idea. You continue to keep attacking me. What talk? What stupid talk? That's how. Wait, so you're telling me I'm not supposed to communicate?
Yes, ma'am, I know you're on the.
You just want me to do what you want, what you've been programmed to do by the artificial intelligence. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying.
That's not negotiable. That's not negotiable. That's incoherent. That's incoherent. But I'm telling you what's happening here. I'm telling you I don't even have a state ID. I don't have no keys, and you're not even talking. You just focus on one particular thing. Go to work. But you can't even get a job in this location because you're also having a hard time getting a job. The only job you have is the Waffle House. You only have one day during the weekends in a Waffle House to actually work at the job there. And you don't know how to properly handle what I'm talking about. So that's why you're saying that things are incoherent. What kind of mother would do something like that? You don't talk like that to me. You're talking to me like I'm not even a human being. You're talking to me like I don't even exist or something. And you know what type of behavior I am. I'm a well-behaved person. I'm like an Asian person. I'm a very quiet person. I'm a very respectable person. But I'm telling you that something's wrong. But you're jumping into why are you jumping into the future already? And you're not addressing the issue. This is what I'm talking about. That's very incoherent, man. Seriously.
You don't want to hear it. You don't want to pay attention.
But wait, you're saying I don't want to pay attention, but you don't want to put your two index fingers in your ears. But I'm not thinking like that. You're putting words into my head because I never thought like that. I'm never thinking like that at all. That's what you're thinking. That's your thoughts. That's the thoughts that the artificial intelligence inserted by means of the cryptography keys. And these keys actually get triggered by the phrases and by the group of words that I'm saying because it's very informative. And you don't want to understand that. Maybe deep in that's like I said, deep inside your unconscious mind because their experience. You can't say that because that's a logical comparison. How am I not talking right? But you're putting two index fingers in the ears. How? That doesn't make sense. This is the same treatment I got when I was in special ed. People keep saying I don't talk right or anything, or I have some sort of speech and language impairment, and that's not true. The way you're talking to me is the same way that the teachers behave with me, and the way people talk to me online, the same behavior, the same responses that I get. You continue to execute. Wait, how am I? Wait, helpless? You're still depending on. All right. Money it deals with social construct, right? And you're socially depending on people. It's not independent. You're not. Listen. Besides independent and socially dependent, this is something I came up with on my own. Because I was able to see that. I noticed that. You're still socially depending on someone to kill your prey, right? And you still should be relying on someone to actually help you get your things. You're still using your money. You still interact with people.
I don't know what they have to do.
Because it still deals with it. It still associates with it. And this is the reason why we all here in the first place. And I seem I can't get to you. I can't actually break you out of that program. And that's what now you're saying I don't want to. You're saying about interpret. You want to hear my interpretation. That means you're trying to silence me. That's the sound of silence program. Why you're not being able to negotiate with another human being? That shows you don't have no. That shows that you don't have any soul in you at all. That's soulless. That's very cold. Very cold-hearted. No one, and you never act like that before. The way he was in the when he was working, you was never like that to me. The way, when I was a little kid, you used to actually argue with me as a kid and put me and throw me into the living room and always do the same. Yes, you did before. That's not a talk. You're saying that you're arguing with me, but you put two index fingers in your ears because you know what I'm talking about. You do know what I'm saying, and you don't want to hear that.
I need to talk about no pretty and all that nonsense.
But you're still mentioning. I'm talking about this location. I'm talking about the business here. Something simple. My God, you still don't get it. Why are you so dense? Why you can't understand that? Do you have some sort of? You must have some sort of auditory processing disorder or something. Because it seems it's not interpreting right. It's not being able to. I'm not able to open your awareness. Your awareness is completely closed to something. It's completely closed towards me, and it's completely. It's also distant. You're very distant from me. Very angry. The way you approach me is very angry. You're so triggered. You're so triggered by me and so emotionally, yeah, you're emotionally triggered. The way you act, the way you react, and your reaction, possibly your stimulus responses is not being able to be able to actually, being able to pick up a certain range from this environment. Maybe that's what I was talking about. This is the things I'm talking about the program energy that the artificial intelligence is able to actually bind. These specialized binary. Because I'm telling you, because you're not.
Because you don't want me to ever say
No,
nothing.
but
You just always
wait.
sit here, okay, I just
But
sit here and shut my
you're
mouth.
saying that I don't want to say nothing. But you're the one who's saying, you're the one who's putting two index fingers in the ears. You don't want to listen to me. I already know about that. How am I talking stupidness? I'm not talking stupidness. I'm talking about this place. This is something so simple. A little baby can get that. A 4-year-old, a toddler can get that. A 4-year-old. It's so easy. It's extremely easy. But you seem to not get that. And the rest of the people seem to not get that. They still, like how Nadine came in here. When Nadine came in here, she addressed me instead of addressing the location. And you never once told her about the our family, about homeless people living in this location or this tourist section. And no one understands that this place this is no place for homeless people, period. And you know that. That's why everybody is on food stamp. The reason why people is on food stamp is because the business here is not being able to pay enough money for them to be able to sustain enough money so they can actually be able to pay for food or be able to pay for rent. It's hard. It's difficult. It's very difficult. But you seem to not be able to pay attention to things. I pay attention to multiple things all at once. That's my mind. That's how my mind works. My mind. But what are you talking? But yeah, how I don't know nothing? Tell me. But you're the one. You're not. But you're saying that I don't know nothing. But you're the one who's putting your fingers in your ears. You're telling me that I'm more confident, but when you put your fingers in your ears, but how am I saying the same thing? You're no, the way, but you're the one who's saying that you're the one who keep putting.
I'll get my tape recorder and tape it.
Yeah, but you're telling you repeat the same thing about being old and getting older and dying and stuff constantly, and then about the business, about me getting a job, but you not address, but you never addressed it. I don't hear you addressing about the location. I'm paying attention to that entirely. You're saying that I repeat the same thing, but you're not. You're the reason why you're saying that I repeat the same thing because you're not responding to you're not responding to me. You're not making no sense. You're the one who's sounding incorrect. You never respond. The way you respond to me is the way. I think the way you respond to me is the way you put your two index fingers. But how it doesn't make sense and you put in two index fingers in the ears? You know it makes sense. If you're so confident about what I'm talking about, and you're saying that you make sense, you make more sense than me. Why do you need to put two index fingers in the ears?
Talking foolishness, I don't want to hear it.
But you're able to. But how would you be able to respond to my foolishness since you're more confident?
I don't know what's going on to you.
You're saying that you're more confident, like I said. But why would you need to? Well, don't you have an answer for me or a solution to actually compete with my words, my answers? That's the only thing you can say. But you're repeating the same thing over. It's repeatable. It's someone who has autism, and also Asperger's, and also Alzheimer's. People repeat the same thing. Yes, you do. You repeat the same thing. That had nothing to do with growing up. That's how the system wants you to work. That's how the system. You relying on the system. That's not how it is. That's how they want you to be. That means you rely on someone who's more advanced than you, and not only more advanced than you, to actually you relying on them to manage you. You rely on them so they can manage you instead of you relying on yourself. You're not thinking straight. Something so easy you can't think of that. How come you're not thinking straight? Just like me. This is how I figure out about simulation. That you can watch cartoons on television. Yeah, because you're not seeing it. You're not being able. You're not. Oh, how am I saying the same thing? I find it amazing. I find it amazing that you said that I said the same thing. But when you're looking back, when it comes to having a conversation with you from previous conversations, when I had previous conversations with you, I don't mention something. You said that you don't memorize that. I forgot, or you said to me that I forgot, or I don't remember. But I said the same thing. That's the artificial intelligence. You prove that the But you're the one who's communicating with me. Why? You're telling me that I'm not supposed to talk as a human being then? But I'm informing you about this place. You never did that to me. When we was in Claremont and not only Claremont, when he was on Studio 8, you never did that to me. And until we went to until we went to the other place, Sun Inn and Suites. You started approaching me around July 2014. You started acting up. You started to show that self-defense mechanism. You show a self-defense mechanism when you're talking. You're very defensive about yourself when you're talking to me. You're putting your two index fingers in your ears. But that had nothing to do with stupid. She was different. When she was in school, she didn't get a back or dump in some special ed program. That's not an excuse. And you actually, I wasn't unaware of that. And I actually graduated high school and forced him to make this decision whether I should go to college or not only college, get a job immediately. And that's just too forced. That was not even enough time for me to make that decision. I didn't even know what to do. People when they graduate high school, they would actually have enough time to be able to actually, say what they're gonna do and such and such. I was just rushed. I didn't know what to do. So I had an advantage. My only thoughts was to actually ask my father for them. You don't want to follow that pattern sequence. It's such an easy pattern that you're not focused on it. I do remember my food. I was just having a conversation with you as a human being. My food is covered up and is already warm. So it doesn't matter to me. I can always heat it up. Wait, why would you leave the? You're the one who took up the rice. Why would you leave the plate out like that instead of putting the plate? Because like I said, you're listening to what I'm saying and you don't like it. Because it's true. You don't want to listen to what I'm talking about. Just like when I was on R&B house. The same thing keep going. You mentioned the same thing over and over to me. And I'm telling you this. I'm addressing you the same thing that happened on a daily basis.
Be quiet now. Okay, now.
What the heck? What kind of thing is that? That's not even what kind of conversation is that? What kind of communication? What is this, man? That's very inappropriate. That's very disrespectful. Just because you play as a mother figure in here, that doesn't give you the advantage to do these things to me. No, it doesn't. I'm still a human being on this planet. I'm still a human being on this planet, and you continue triggering me. You're trying to trigger me because you're not able to properly communicate with me. You have a problem with me, and you're not able to negotiate with me. That's extreme. That's something wrong with you. That's an issue that you need to take care of. That's a problem. But you can't even get a job here in this yourself. You have a one-day job, and that's in Waffle House during a Sunday. Because you have a hard time getting a job just like me. Everybody have a hard time getting a job in this location. They can't keep up with their rent, and that's true. The rent, you also complain about the rent keep going up. I'm using sense, and you're not able to make sense with me, man. Because you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to be able to close this conversation with me because you want to continue dragging it on. You want to continue stretching it out. What kind of sensible person are you? That's not even a civilized person. You're not civilized. You're uncivilized. What kind of civilized person would do such thing like that to me? That's not civilized. But a civilized person wouldn't attack. A civilized person wouldn't personally attack someone and saying that they're retarded and then saying something about all these random things. You're personally attacking me. Like I mentioned, you continue to keep supporting that idea. Now you see what I'm talking about? That's another personal attack. How I sound like an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You continue personally attacking me. This is the thing I'm talking about. What talk? You're leaving. Why would you need to leave this place in the first place? Why? Tell me. You're saying you're leaving this place. So you're agreeing with me that this place is no good. The business here is trash. That's what you're saying to me. That's simple. But you're telling me, you're calling me a dumb person, but you're just saying that you want to leave this place. You're not thinking properly. What kind of thing? What, you have some sort of, you have a thinking disability or something? But why you need to leave this place for? Tell me. Why you need to leave this place? Because you know what I'm talking about. You're saying you had a talk with your friend about trying to move into a house with them or stuff, and also about your pension and different things. You're trying to find different opportunities because you're getting desperate and your money's running out. Like I said, because this place is bad. Like I said, this place is bad. It's very contagious. It's not a good place for anybody or kids. This destroys the way your brain is managed. Emotionally destroys you. How I end up so stupid? You're not making no sense. Why you need to be so triggered by me and so angry? And you're saying that you're confident. Mess up my what life, man? This is what I'm talking about. You come back to personally attacking me, and you're showing that self-defense mechanism again. No, because you're the one who's talking with me. You did the same thing yesterday, and you brought it back. Even Christina addressed the same issue to you during nighttime. When she got triggered by like I mentioned earlier, when she got triggered by my volume of my earphones. She doesn't have her ear. I'm just saying. I'm just mentioning it to you. Something so simple, but you don't want to acknowledge what I'm talking about. This is something new. This is a new pattern that I started to see from you. I'm seeing something new that you're displaying, and you never displayed that. When we was downstairs, you never start this argument before. Initiate a conversation and got so triggered by a phrase, a group of words, a group of my words to be so triggered.
She said go put your name in an application for that friggin' job up to treat it. Could they have?
Friggin', you see how the word you use, friggin'? Use such profanity. This is what I'm talking about, because you can't search for the right word. I'm not even using any profanity whatsoever. I'm able to have a proper. I'm able to